residential.
You almost already.
Believe that?
Is it fair next week? Is it the week after?
We played it. I don't know. I should look into that. I can't remember.
Well, it's not this Tuesday.
All right, it's 7:31. I'd like to call the Brimfield Township Board of Trustees public hearing to order for rezoning amendments. Roll call for attendance, please.
All those in attendance, Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
we have a full board.
All right, this is to discuss an amended zoning map from OR Office Research to R3 medium high density residential and rural residential. Mike Lapp, I'm going to turn the meeting over to you to give us an update, and we'll go from there.
Yep, and you guys should all have a packet that was sent over to you. If not, I have some extra here. Basically, if you're going down Mogador Road, this is all OR. This is the only OR district that we have within Brimfield Township. There was a request to change this section of OR on the east side of Mogador Road from OR to LI. And if you're looking at it, all the residents came in from the whole area. We had stacked meetings. Sue, you were at that meeting. And they were all complaining, saying this is all agriculture on this side here. This is all R3, which matches on the other side of Howe. So, you know, as we work through the whole thing, listen to all the resident complaints, go back and forth, the zoning commission decided to change this section to RR and keep it agriculture, and this section to R3 to call it what it is. This section on the east side has not been decided yet, and there's a meeting tomorrow night on this LI, if it's going to change to LI or if it's going to stay at OR. But the west side, definitely they want to change to RR and R3. I don't anticipate anybody being here today because the residents were all happy with the changes. And that's about it.
What was it originally going to be changed? Was there something else that they were going to change that green area to?
Yes, so the comprehensive plan shows the whole section going to LI, from OR to LI.
So all the light green would have been LI?
It would have been like,
Okay.
there was a huge traffic concern from the residents about trucks going up and down between Howe and Mogador already. And they said the increase in this would just be exorbitant, and then zoning commission agreed.
Okay.
And they also are changing the comprehensive, once this change takes effect, then they're going to change the comprehensive land use plan to, RR and R3 to
Okay.
match.
So Mike, this whole part 2 would have been? light
No,
industrial?
just the section, there's a little dash line, see that red?
Yeah, that's
Those are
what,
the-
that's
yeah.
what would have been light industrial.
Yeah, so that's all farmland right now,
Okay,
and then
good.
we're gonna keep it agriculture.
Very good.
Yeah, because I remember I'd gotten a few calls on this. I just wanted to refresh where we were at
Yeah.
before to where we got to today.
Yeah, there's still a little bit of problem on the other side, and I don't know if they're gonna keep it at OR or LI. I don't know what they're gonna do with that, but
Okay.
there's a lot of concerns in that area, so everybody was happy.
Right
imagine.
here? Is this what you're talking about?
Yeah, there was some concerns right there.
Mike, on the LI on the proposed one, the light green, is that all of the houses that are right there now?
You're talking about on the blue one?
Yeah, well, this light green, the light blue over here, are those all the houses that are there right now?
Yeah, but this wouldn't be voted on at the next meeting today. This the east side of Mogador, they didn't make a decision on yet.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's just the west side. It's just the RR and the R3 off of Howe.
Where are the Hellmans, right?
I think they're right on the corner of Mogador and Howe up there.
They're right here. They're here.
Oh, you're talking
No,
about
no,
the
no.
the business itself is down further into the blue LI
They're right here.
off the map, yeah.
Okay,
And then their house is off of Howe at the old swimming hole.
right.
So, all right, and this is just public hearing to hear comments.
That's it. Yeah.
Okay. And this was advertised, it's been to regional planning, all of those pieces we went through.
Yes, so the public hearing for Mogador, this whole section was June 9th. And then the zoning commission voted to have these changes sent to you guys on the 14th. And in between, it went to regional planning. So regional planning reviewed at first for it to be into the LI, and then made the changes after the LI, subject to the public hearing meeting, and everybody came in and said, no, we don't want this LI, and stated the reasons why, and it made sense.
Was regional planning supportive of it being RR there?
Yes,
Okay. So we'll need a separate public hearing for that little piece of land to the west side of Mogador then?
they'll make a decision tomorrow night if they're going to propose any changes or leave it the way it is. Right now it's OR, which is very, very similar to LI.
Okay.
It just, LI would open it to more uses that the residents are concerned with. Right now, OR is more like architectural firms, accounting firms, things of that nature, and LI would be a little bit more manufacturing.
Mike, this is just a curiosity question because it's going to affect our road travel, but I know Talmadge had that vote out there for the high density residential, the R4.
R6, yeah.
Did that pass at all?
No, it failed.
Okay. Because that would have brought all kinds of new traffic down Howe Road and all that stuff, which would have.
Right, we actually have some residents that came in from Mogador, several residents that are building here now because of that R6. They actually moved out of Talmadge because of that change and came here.
What is R6?
It's a high density, it's similar to our R4.
That would be our
Would be our equivalent to R4, which is like Copper Creek, Redwood, high density homes. Bless you.
Are they putting, I don't know if you know, are they putting it back out there or did they just bail on that whole thing?
No, that's done and over with in Mogador. I mean, in Talmadge.
So they can't bring it back out again?
No, I don't believe so, unless they come up with some other kind of change, like an R5 or something different,
All right. Thanks, man.
All right. We'll now open up the floor to public comments. All right. Hearing none, thank you for the report on this. And then this will come before the Board of Trustees for a
Today.
vote to accept or decline or send back for review at the next public meeting. I need a motion to adjourn the public hearing.
I will make that motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call.
All those in favor, Mike? Nick?
Yes.
Sue?
Sue.
Yeah.
We are adjourned at 7:38.
person.
You're the only contact we know that's a roofer.
Well, they, no, a lot of times he'll give some away. I'll maybe a little bit.
All right, it's 8 o'clock. I'd like to call the Brimfield Township Regular Board of Trustees meeting to order. Roll call for attendance, please.
Roll call for attendance.
Jumping in, John.
I'm sorry. Mike?
Yes.
Attendance. Nick?
Yes.
Sue?
Yeah.
We have a board.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Don't have the pastor.
Okay. All right, we'll move right into our meeting here with announcements and correspondences. Board members, are there any announcements or correspondences?
Yeah, I did talk to, I forget his name, I always forget, from, it's representing the Roth family, you know, with the lake down there.
Alan,
The-
yeah.
The guy from Hartville.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just wanted me to know, he reached out and wanted to know some engineers we use. Only one I really knew was Mike Wino, and he had found out from multiple sources. He's probably the best to plan that project under the road or whatever. So he just wanted us to know that he's been working on it.
Do you
And I reminded him that we don't have to do this. This is not our project.
If you see me walking around your place back there, is that okay? Because I want to see her missing pond. She doesn't have a flooding problem. Her pond went away.
Pond went away.
It just doesn't stay as full as it used to.
Which one? Right around all the campsites?
Drains down one drain.
That all happened when all the flooding started happening in other places. She didn't have any flooding. It started going away.
Huh, that's weird.
Sue, do you have any announcements?
No.
Department heads, announcements, correspondences. All right, it's easy. We have no meeting guests today, so I will take a motion to accept the minutes. We'll have to do those as two separate motions, I think, John, because I was absent for one meeting.
Yep.
So do you have the dates on those, John?
I was missing one too.
Yeah, you were missing the first one. I missed that.
So the first one was July 27th and the 13th. So which one weren't you, Mike, you were missing the 27th meeting?
No, Mike was missing the 13th.
Okay. So then we need to do one for the 17th.
All right, so I'll make a motion to accept the meeting minutes from July 13th, 2022.
Second,
Okay, all those in favor, Mike,
Abstain?
Nick,
Yes.
Sue,
yes.
motion passed.
Then I'll entertain a motion for the July 27th, 2022 meeting.
I will make that motion.
Second,
All those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Abstain.
Sue,
yes.
motion passed.
All right, then I'll entertain a motion to accept the agenda.
So moved.
I'll second.
All right, discussion. Under Parks and Rec, I'd like to add letter, number 2, letter F as in Frank for Pavilion at Kelso Soccer Fields.
Pavilion, is that what you called it?
Yeah. At Kelso Soccer Fields, just so we know exactly where we're talking.
Anything else?
Does anybody else have any amendments or changes to the agenda?
No.
All right, hearing none, roll call for acceptance of the amended agenda.
All those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes,
Sue,
Yes.
motion passed.
I'll entertain a motion to accept the purchase orders.
I will make that motion.
Second,
All those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes,
Sue,
yes.
motion passed.
I'll entertain a motion to accept the warrants.
Make that motion.
Second,
All those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue,
yes.
motion passed.
All right, we will now open up the floor to public comments. We please ask that you state your name and address before addressing the board and limit your comments to 5 minutes. Floor is open.
Arlene Mapper, 3787 Randville Road, Central Ohio, 44240. I just have a question about the electric sign in the center of town. I know it's the sign,
Oh, yeah.
electronic sign. Isn't there some way to do temporary electric to it so that it's up and running? I mean, it just seems like a shame that it's
I know, I wish that
sitting
thing was
there.
working. Is it?
Craig can invest
Darlene,
that.
I had that to address tomorrow, they are to maintain that, but they haven't, so I need to address that at my weekly meeting. So I'm hoping that the answer, the answer needs to be, yes, we will get it back. So,
Does electric run out of that corner of your building yet?
well, there was an electrician who was on site who, they ran it over, they destroyed it, they put it back, and then he moved on to another job. And I don't know the new electrician on site, so I just.
Mr. Richard, when it's final, it's gonna be connected to your building though, right, underground?
Somehow, yeah,
Okay.
somehow there's electric to it.
Okay.
But it has been out for a month or so now, so.
Yeah, because we have a lot of community events coming up here in the next couple of months that would be nice to have.
There's gotta be a way they can run a wire. Even if they put a big pole and put it up high, right now they move a lot of stuff back and forth, so.
All right. Additional public comments, questions? No? All right, here for the great coffee, right? All right, hearing none, we'll move forward. Any safety concerns?
I don't know if this is where, remember we talked to Mike Smith who came back with his safety concern for Brimfield Road?
Yes.
I put that letter together, so where do we want to? Oh, you weren't here. Were you?
No, but I saw the video on that.
A letter to the commissioners
Okay.
notifying that we know there's an issue.
Yeah, it's not a resolution, so yeah, I would say we'd do it outside of business, so you could do it in the safety concern section.
Okay.
What was it, did we already have it, did you guys sign it maybe yesterday?
No, I have not signed this.
Oh, okay, all right.
Well, I'll just read it and let you, okay?
Mhm.
Okay, my name is Mike Kostensky. I'm a member of the Brimfield Board of Trustees. At the trustee meeting of July 27th, we had a guest, Mike Smith and his wife from 3616 Ranfield Road, which is County Road. According to the property owners, and to no avail, they have raised numerous concerns as to the safety issues of the road as recently winter of 2021 and 22, as the water breaching the road and freezing completely over. This issue is consistent with the issue of drainage under and both sides of the road that have pointed out to the county. It is clear, as he has documented the runaround he has received from everyone he contacts in reference to this issue. The Brimfield Board of Trustees understand this is not our road or issue. We feel this issue could be corrected. I would hope maybe with some of the funds from stormwater management that Portage County manages and collects. Being a true safety issue, this should be addressed with the intent to help the tax-paying citizens of Portage County use this road. This ice curve is truly a threat to any unsuspecting motorist coming upon a frozen road. It would be terrible to have a severe crash on Ranfield Road that could have been corrected beforehand without so many public officials and employees seemingly passing the buck. Portage County, please understand this is your road. Please take care of this risk for unsuspecting drivers. Okay?
Yep.
So do I make a motion on this?
We already had one out there that you were gonna write a letter.
Okay, so
So you
we'll
just-
just sign it?
Yep.
And then if you could have somebody
Yep. We'll mail it.
send it to them? Are you guys okay with it?
I'm okay. Do we need to send that certified?
If you want to, I mean, at least they won't be able to say we didn't get it. You want me to send it certified?
To all the commissioners? Yeah, whatever would, I mean, this is, at least we have a record that we've tried to do something about it.
I'll send it certified.
Yeah, I'd certify it to the commissioners, but I don't know if we need to certify it to everybody else.
I just want to make sure the board has it so it doesn't get lost.
Do we want to send it certified to the Mickey Rossi?
No, because he meets with them, right? So all,
Well, he's his own elected official.
say that again, I'm sorry.
He's his own elected official, so I would say yes, because he doesn't fall under the direction of the commissioners. He can do as he.
Yeah,
I just didn't know if they discussed it in that meeting.
yeah, I'd send that to him too.
All right, so 3 commissioners and Mickey Marazzi will send it certified.
Yeah.
Michelle, did you hear that?
Other safety concerns? Okay, hearing none, we're going to move into the business portion of our meeting. We ask that the public holds comments and questions to the very end when we will open it up for the good of Brimfield Township. At this time, Roy from the Police Department, the floor is yours, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Nick. Under old business, one item I want to address is an item we've been discussing, which is our police station asphalt, replacing the asphalt for the front and back parking lot. I've been working with Dave on getting some quotes. We do have quotes from Sable Asphalt and Concrete and S&K Asphalt and Concrete, and we're waiting for one more quote to come in. So once we get that third quote back, I'll be able to bring that to the board and we can make a decision on who we may want to move forward with, but I'm waiting on one more quote for that.
Does that quote include doing the cemetery as part of this?
He is quoting in kind of a separate pieces, like the police department asphalt piece, and then he's
Okay.
also quoting a separate section for that cemetery piece, because I know there's a grant application that applies specifically to the cemetery, so
Okay,
they're kind of breaking that out in chunks.
okay. So John, are we getting them to add in the new Kelso Drive property into that bid? Because they're already here. I get to pay mobilization next year just for that parking lot.
So far, the one bid we're waiting on, he's the only one that's checked that so far.
Okay. So what we're gonna do is that new Kelso property that we purchased, if they're already here, the mobilization cost would make sense.
Sure.
And just also to possibly get a price on this area for the community center, just so we have it, and one for the Kelso house.
Yeah, I can keep track, I can work on it.
Okay.
No,
Yeah, I mean, if they're out there, just have them do it all.
Yeah, just so we can see them all.
See what's, yep.
Hopefully we'll get all that by the next meeting. They should have their bid in, shouldn't they? 2 weeks from now.
No, they should. Police, Cardinal have theirs. I have to go S&K and, Sable
Sable.
again.
Right.
Okay.
See if I can get prices on this,
But at one point, there was some talk that a developer in town wanted to possibly do the Kelso house. Has anyone ever heard anything more on that?
Maybe if we get the price and say, hey, here's what it costs, just give us a check, and then we're on our way. You don't have to do anything.
You know,
Try that, we need to have all those.
we do, so we need, if we get that thing, we can, Kelso could actually write a letter and send it to them. Sometimes the developers sort of forget.
All right, Roy, I'll turn it back over to you.
Yeah, so one more quote to come in on that, and then we can go from there. So that's just an update on that project. A second item is I want to update the board on the status of hiring an additional police officer. We're currently reviewing candidates and backgrounds for that, so that's an ongoing process. The number of candidates is not large, and I think that's an issue that not just our department, but departments everywhere are dealing with. So as we move forward in that, I have a candidate that I can bring to you as a board. I'll do that, but right now that's just an ongoing process.
Have you had any interest?
Yeah, well, we've had some candidates, but they haven't successfully passed through the background phase. So when I have somebody I can bring to you, I'll update you then, but right now that's just an ongoing process. One item under new business, I want to make the board aware that we're going to be doing training at Field High School and the Old Center Elementary School buildings. We'll be there on Tuesday, August 16th and Wednesday, August 17th. The school has graciously agreed to partner with us to allow our officers to go and do scenario-based training, so we'll be in for both days for training there. The final item under new business is I want to discuss House Bill 206 with the board. That legislation goes into effect on September 23rd, 2022. What this bill does is amends the ability of township police departments in the state of Ohio to take primary enforcement actions on interstate highways. So what that means is we have I-76 that runs through Brimfield Township, and under current law, we don't go up there and take any kind of an enforcement action or respond to calls unless we're mutual aided by the state patrol. So in other words, we can't just send a car down there and sit down there and, for example, run laser or radar down there for cars coming through because the law prohibits that. So what the legislative change they're putting into place is they're amending that will allow townships with populations between 5,000 and 50,000 residents to be able to take primary enforcement action on interstate highways and run through the township with a couple of caveats attached. One of those is that the highway must be located within the township itself, and there also needs to be a permanent access point on and off of the highway open to the general public within the township as well. We have that in Brimfield Township with our section of I-76. So what I'm bringing to the board is, in order for us to be able to do that, to take primary enforcement action down there, we would need a resolution by the Board of Trustees for the township that would authorize us to do that.
What is your thoughts on that? Is it something that you want as a chief? Is
I
it
don't-
something you
Yeah, I don't think,
want? I mean, what's
I don't think there's any harm in doing this. It's not that you already have the state patrol that patrols I-76. You also have the sheriff's office has jurisdiction down there as well. I don't foresee stationing officers down on I-76 on any kind of regular basis, but we do have the ability to go down there. For example, if we wanted to deploy a K-9 team down there to run some stops, do some type of interdiction, it would give us the ability to do that, whereas the current legislation wouldn't allow us to do that. So that would be the primary reason I would recommend proceeding forward with
So
it.
it just adds another tool to your
It's just another
toolbox.
tool in the toolbox, but we've got plenty of other areas in the township that require our attention, so.
And it just gives us some legal protection if for some reason we ended up on.
It does.
76.
It would do that, yes.
You want to make a motion of a second for discussion?
Yeah, well, so are you saying we need to go out, is there certain language they want for this resolution, or do we just need to adopt?
There would need to be a resolution passed by the Board of Trustees for this. And I had an initial discussion with John if you guys decided to move forward with this.
We just need to accept House Bill 6, those two Ohio Revised Code issues that allow us, it's on the top part of the act.
Okay.
So, is that in yours?
Oh, yeah.
I have,
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
that top section, that would cover our resolution part right there.
to accept sections 451335, 451339.
Right.
So I'm gonna make a motion to accept sections 4513.35 and 4513.39 of the Ohio Revised Code to permit Brimfield Township Police Department officers to have primary enforcement ability on interstate highways inside the township.
I'll second that for discussion. What about revenue? Not that I'm worried about revenue, but I mean, is it treated just like any other fine if you pulled somebody over?
Yeah, it's treated exactly like any other fine. If
So
you
we don't get,
take the Ohio Township Association, attached that letter to my report. They supplied some supporting testimony in support of this bill. In specific to that issue you raised, Mike, I'm going to read from that letter from the Ohio Township Association, which says, additionally, we've heard concern from some members over the years that the changes in House Bill 206 could allow for the creation of speed traps on the interstates. Unlike municipalities that can cite under their ordinances, townships must cite under the Ohio Revised Code and follow the statutory disposition of fines. Fines collected by township officers under the Revised Code 451339 for speed are deposited into the county treasury. There simply is no financial incentive for a township to create a speed trap under the authority of this bill. So this doesn't create any kind of a revenue generation type of situation. It doesn't.
so we're just
change.
making money for the county.
It's, well, that's the way the statutes are spelled out, yeah.
Okay.
Just out of curiosity,
That's a good question.
if we were to become home rule, would that then potentially change, or does that just become pretty complex?
That would be a legal question. I think we'd have to do some homework on if we eventually became home
If I
rule.
remember right, we would have to have our own law department or,
Right, I knew we'd have to have our own law department as part of home
and our
rule.
own little, I can't remember. I thought it was some kind of court or some, I don't, I'm not even answering.
Okay,
I know enough to be dangerous on that.
so I think it's just something to consider in the future.
Right.
as knowledge.
Yeah, I mean, they're still gonna get called.
Hey,
for
Roy,
accidents.
does that allow
We
you,
get called all the time for accidents. I'm sorry.
does that allow you to do an OVI checkpoint at all on the expressway?
We could, but those are always coordinated through the state patrol. They're always the
Oh.
primary coordinating agencies for those. Local police departments are always the assisting on that. So if the state patrol want to do that, I would say that's not conducive on an interstate highway to do a checkpoint. That's too dangerous.
I
You're
just didn't know. if
yeah,
that gave the
You're always going to see that on a state route like State Route 14 or State Route 43. Those are going to be the areas you're going to see those traditionally.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Any other questions I can answer on that?
Hearing none, I'll take a roll call vote for the acceptance of House Bill 206 changes.
All those in favor, Mike?
Yes.
Nick?
Yes,
Sue?
Yes,
Motion passed.
so then this will take effect after 9/23.
Correct. Yeah. And that's all I have for you this morning.
Any questions for police departments? I know we do need an executive session today related to police department contracts.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. We'll turn it over to fire department. Great. No, I was just letting people know that we have an executive.
All right, for the fire department, you can see our calls for service is a little over 1,000 at this point, which is ahead of every other year. Really, my main focus, as you guys can tell, would be the station build. I did meet with USDA on site last week. It's nice to see them out because they can start approving and looking at stuff. They are the bank for approval. Meetings with Rycon continue. You'll see every day now, you'll see steel workers, masons, excavators, carpenters. Everybody's there. So it is busy, which is a good thing while they're building. They did continue to go into the admin side, which I sent out to the trustees about the back door being eliminated altogether. And again, I'll remind everybody, send your packages somewhere else. There is no back door to the fire station. There is no front door to the fire station. It was gone a long time ago. So send any packages to other places because they can't get to it. But if you stop up, you'll see that they have laid the footers for those, for that back conference room. So that's nice to see. Dumpster enclosures going up. You'll see that as you pull straight in off 43. And the bell was to be hung today possibly, but that got canceled, and I made you guys aware of that. And Christine, the Kelso House, I don't have a new time frame on when that's going to happen. Really, that has been I'm just out in construction zone every day. So it's really taken a lot of time to keep up on that stuff. The only other thing going on is we're preparing to move dispatches to Kent City from Kent State, and that will happen on September 1st.
How's that transition going?
Great. It's good. Everything's positive so far. I don't think, obviously you guys will never know, and the firemen will really never know. We're calling them the same thing. It's just going to a different dispatch.
Is Bricks up yet though?
Bricks is up. We ran into an issue where we got to move everything because of lack of space. We're going to put it back into Cassie's old office, that storage room. So it's a locked area because if someone flips off the power switch, it's off. Like it's a remote system.
Okay.
So we got to secure it a little bit better. So we're working.
Does
on
it have to be wait until it gets constructed back there? I mean, that's going to be all remodeled, right? Or is it a movable piece?
It's a movable piece because it's over radio frequencies.
Okay, I just didn't know if when they start doing construction, you're going to have to move it all over again.
Well, I'll have to move it, but it's not like I got to run hard lines everywhere.
Okay.
So I can put it up where I have a phone line, and I do have phone lines, and plug it into the wall.
Okay.
So.
All right.
Hey, when are they gonna start putting windows in?
Windows is one thing that is on delay. So you'll see on the top part where there should be windows,
Right.
They have put the purple board over top for now until the windows come in.
Because then they really can't start much on the inside.
Well, they've come up with a solution to box that in the best they can so they can start on the inside.
Okay. It's looking good.
Yeah, it's a lot going on and a lot to keep up with, but Sue's been to a lot of the meetings and it's been nice.
Good.
I don't have any board approval or anything else.
I do have one announcement under that, just to keep the board up to date on the financials for the fire station. There's change order 1 and change order 4 is still pending. Bob is supposed to have something to us by the beginning of next week. Findings on change order 1 and 4. Once we have those change order findings from Bob, which is our architect, then we as the board have to either accept his recommendations or decline them. If we accept them, then it needs to go over to USDA for them to do their fact finding on it before we accept the change orders. So we've made progress. Change order 3 was the roof. And there was concerns about that, but we actually found in the bid statement that they were liable for that. What they're doing was in the bid, so that became a cost that will not cover.
Okay.
So
Was one of those the weather related stuff?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's change order 1.
And they
that's
don't
the
have-
big bulk of that.
Right, they don't have any proof of that, right?
Well, what they have to do is they have to submit weather conditions, and then there's a state determination of what is acceptable weather days and not acceptable weather days. So they put all together all the documents. Now Bob has to take those documents and go through them and say, is this substantial evidence to support that? Then he makes recommendation to us to either accept or decline those.
Okay.
But same thing, like every time they add a piece of steel, he's got to go through all the documents and say, oh, no, wait, the steel was over in this document. You missed it. We don't need to pay for it. So it's a very tedious process right now.
Is he being responsive to you?
Yeah, Bob's been pretty
Yeah, that's
responsive.
what I've always thought.
He's Moody, or Rycon would wish that he would move faster, but there's an internal process with Moody Nolan. So Bob gets it, he's got to sort it, but then he's got to send it off to the engineering department or this person over there to get their feedback on it. So
And we're
it
good
takes
with him
time.
doing that. I'm glad that he's doing that extra work, so.
So we're
I
getting
just
there.
know he's
I
been
just-
on the list of non-responsive, and I never had an issue with him getting back. I just wanted to make sure.
Rycon has asked for another construction meeting to talk about those, but I haven't called that meeting yet, only because until I hear something from Bob, I'm not gonna waste our time just meeting the meeting. It doesn't do any good. We need to get the recommendation from Bob first.
Thanks for handling all that.
All right. Any other questions or comments for fire department? All right, hearing none, we'll move into admin. There's no old business. I just wanted to give a quick update on the Brimfield Kent and Jed financials. We had a meeting last week. Balance to allocate, this year so far was $134,299. Kent's allocation to that was $53,719. Dip with an additional $13,429.97 fund. That's total. For this current quarter, our balance, our payment to Brimfield Township was $8,503.58 for the maintenance and improvement, and $34,000.29 for the Brimfield amount there.
I did have one question, Nick, when you're looking at, and I apologize, I don't have it in front of me. The admin fees that are out there for the JED?
Those are, I believe, and don't quote me on this, I'll go back and double check, but those are, for example, we just got state audit done. So we get audited every so often, just like the township does. So there's an audit report that you should have received from me also.
I did. I got that. I just
That
didn't know
should
what
be
those prices
taken
were.
care of by Kent.
No, it's the JED.
Yeah, because the JED is its own separate body. It's
So
not
we should
Kent, it's
split
not
costs
Brimfield.
from the, well, so then
But
that
not
price
for
was
that.
double.
But for all the
What's that?
tax,
They took that price out before they split. So we both paid our half share of that.
Right.
No, the JED board is different. That would be,
okay, but they're not trying to get for their administrative fee for the tax collecting.
but that would have paid for their audit for the JED, which I did get their report. That makes sense. I just,
Yeah, so you should have that JED
I
audit
do.
report.
I do.
Other than that, they announced at that meeting, everything's going well. There wasn't much to discuss other than this is the only JED that is trending above projections in Kent. All the other JEDs are trending below projections, and they're not making as much as they thought off of those JEDs. So
Well, they are well aware of the nursing home.
yes, yep, we talked about that. We talked about the new building acquisition for the township. Those were the really two main topics.
So they're hitting all the workers at the building, at the fire department. They're up the mic saying they are. Okay.
Yeah, but it's not as simple as it sounds. They have to be on site for a certain number of days, the trade has to, in order for them to collect any taxes off of them. So if the electricians only show up for 10 days, and I think it's 15 or 16 days they gotta be on site before they can fall under the JED collection. So a lot of times the trades try to get out before that deadline, because then they don't pay that additional tax.
But all the Rycon employees that are over there they're there. We'd get them, right? So
Right.
Mario's of the world, we're getting. Okay, I just was make sure they were watching that.
Yeah, so, but so we don't get as much as we anticipated off of that because the trades come and go.
I hear
that.
Yes.
There's a time frame for that. All right, that's it for Jed. Anything else under admin we need to discuss today? Hearing none, we'll go into zoning and economic development. Mike Ladd, sir, the floor is yours.
Thanks. First item I have is the trustees' consideration is needed for the rezoning of OR to R3 and OR to RR. That was a public hearing we held this morning, 7:30. There's been several meetings on this as well, both at zoning commission level and regional planning. The first public hearing was held on June 9th, and then July 17th, it was voted on to send to the trustees. As you can see here, and I have some extra copies here if anybody needs it, but on Mogador, west of Mogador Road, it's all OR, which is actually commercial. We're going to move that to RR which is going to keep it agriculture. And then along Howe Road is now proposed for R3, and it is commercial right now. The east side of Mogador Road, there's still proposals out there. We're not voting on that today. That's going to be at the zoning commission Thursday night, but that's for your consideration.
All right. I'll entertain a motion for that.
So moved.
All right, to rezone OR to R3 and OR to RR as presented by the zoning department.
Okay, well, second.
And I know it's not about this public hearing, but just for record again, it was duly advertised and went to regional commission and zoning scheduled meetings.
Yes.
Okay.
Is there any discussion on that? And this is in line with the comprehensive land use plan with some amendment to the comprehensive.
There's going to be amendment to the comprehensive land use plan on this section, but yes,
Based on the residents' feedback.
correct.
Okay, all those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
motion passed.
On the same line, you're going to see, and it's not today and it's not on the list here, but just going back to this RR and to R1 and to OC, which is open space conservation, R1 and then rural. Right now, it allows for high density. These are like our lowest density areas. And our code allows for residential developments to go into open space conservation, R1 and RR. So we have a proposal to the zoning commission, and they're going to be voting on this to eliminate any subdivisions in RR and OC. That will help control the amount of homes being built, where they're going to be built. And it's just, so some of these big acreage farms that you see that are RR and all that, we certainly wouldn't want to see housing developments go in there. There is water in the area as well as sewer. They can certainly go to anywhere from 200 to 400 homes in this area right now with this RR, the way the code exists, and we're kind of concerned about that. This is not where we want the homes. So we're going to increase the agriculture throughout the township. So that is on the table to eliminate all those housing developments.
As one trustee, I'd like to encourage that to be like top priority like at the next meeting, make sure we move forward with that, because I don't want this change to happen and the developer to come in and offer some sweet deal on that property, and then all of a sudden we got a big.
So zoning commission has made the motion to send it to regional planning already.
Okay.
Regional planning is analyzing it. We should talk about it tonight at the regional planning commission. And if we have an answer back, then we'll put it on the agenda for tomorrow. If not, it'll be the next meeting.
Okay.
But then we have public hearings and things like that.
Yeah, I know we
So
got different steps. That's why I said I was make sure it was, at least for me, I would like that to be a priority, because I don't want to see that something happen in the meantime.
I think we have enough built. There's enough to build in the R2, R3, and R4s. So I don't think we need them everywhere. But that being said, we have Hickory Hill subdivision is now selling homes for development. We're started issuing permits for this subdivision. They're kind of on hold with most of it, except for the Ryan Homes is putting the model home. As you pull in, it's going to be to the left. There's going to be a second model home. I didn't issue permits for it yet. It's going to be on the right as you pull in. So there's going to be Ryan Homes, and then there's going to be custom homes. So the custom home builder will be on the right. His starting prices for custom will be around $380,000, and he'll go up to whatever number anybody's willing to build. He's the developer. He's also a builder.
So will they buy a lot in?
He owns the lots.
Okay.
So right now he's planning at minimum to build the first 6 homes coming out of Sugar Maples, where it ties right in. Those will be all custom built. If they're a hot topic and everybody wants custom built, he down further. But he has an agreement with Ryan to sell at least half of those to Ryan.
He's got those sold already?
Ryan's got 14 sold, I believe, right now. So, but no, there'll be the ability to build custom as well. So.
That's gonna be done in a year. That whole thing's just.
Yeah, once they get their permits through the county and the county green lights them, then it's gonna go pretty quick. Jiffy Lube is open. They are still gonna have a ribbon cutting, and Sue and Lauren are working with that. I met with a regional manager, and Sue Fields has been in contact for plans with that ribbon cutting. I'll let you know when that's going to be. They roughly do it 2 to 3 weeks into their grand opening is what they said. So, and then I have I'll need a motion for the settlement agreement on 1435 Talmadge from Mark Gadetti. I don't know if anybody got a chance to read it. This basically finishes all of the violations that were found and the additional violations from fire department, gives them 60 days to complete that and execute that, as well as, the painting of the house. There's some language in there as far as that, if he sells it, and if he doesn't sell it, then he's got to come back, give us a timetable to have it completed within 120 days. So if it's a good agreement, and this is enforceable then. Do you guys have a copy of it with you, or?
We do.
I'll make a motion to accept the
No, this
settlement
is
and release
118.
agreement
That's what he's talking about.
for
Okay, I thought you said how.
1435 Talmadge Road, Brimfield Township, Ohio, 40240, between Brimfield Township and Hankins. I need a second for discussion.
A second for discussion.
So you got you.
So, okay, Sue got it.
Yeah,
So, isn't the home sold?
Not yet. We don't have anything as far as it's sold. I know there's a for sale sign out there, but it's not sold yet.
But this settlement agreement rides with the property, not Hankins himself, correct?
So it rides right with the owner right now. And then if somebody buys it, I mentioned that to Mark, and
My concern is I just want to make sure it rides with the property, not.
well, I asked Mark, I said, is 1435, if it's, does the painting enforceable? All the violations are enforceable per code. The painting, however, it says the zoning code provisions would be enforceable by the new buyer, and you will have to put any new buyer on notice regarding the settlement. We can't bind the new buyer to that settlement, but we would have to go after them additionally.
So we'd have to start this process.
We'd have to enforce the zoning code on that, the new buyer, yeah.
So we would start at ground zero with initial findings and work our way all the way up.
Well, we make them notice of the settlement agreement. So if it sells, we're going to let them know that there's a settlement agreement in place.
Well, couldn't we have some closing to put money in escrow for the painting of the house if they did sell it?
Court won't do that.
Can you read Mark's response? It sounded like he said that this would not follow with it.
So he
That's what I'm
says the zoning code provisions would be enforceable by the new buyer, and they will have to put any new buyer on notice regarding the settlement. But we can't bind a new buyer through the settlement agreement. One, we don't know if there is one, and two, they're not a party to the lawsuit.
So that's my only concern, that by entering into the settlement agreement, if he sells it to his wife or sells it to his son, or I go buy it, right? And I don't have to do anything, and we're stuck with this process. What's that loop gonna look like? How long are we stuck with that situation?
Yeah, I don't think it's enforceable. I mean, according to the courts, it's not enforceable to give it to somebody else because they're not a party to a lawsuit. We don't even know who it would be.
I don't know, from the Kelso House, Darlene got a message from someone who was interested, I think, in purchasing it.
Yeah.
He wanted to know the historical, because it has a plaque on it apparently.
Yes.
So I'm trying to research the historical part of it, like what the plaque, who the plaque was issued to and so forth, that kind of thing.
I spoke with him, and he has full intentions of restoring and getting it cited. I did talk to him. It's just not binding yet. So,
Okay.
So there is some interest in it
Yes, because I think I found a picture.
recently.
And I think it's that house,
Recently.
but there's nothing, it's just a picture and there's no information, so I gotta see if I can find the information for the picture.
yeah, he reached out as well, and then I put him in contact with you. He went through building department as well. I think he's very interested. Sounds like he's going to buy it, wants to restore it. But there's nothing
So,
holding him to.
Except for the painting would be finished though ahead of time, right?
Chick, did you know anything about it?
I mean, if it doesn't sell right away, he's limited to what he could do. If this house doesn't sell within 60 days, then he has to come up to you guys and within 120 days have that completed.
No, but I'm saying the painting is the only thing we're talking about, right? Everything
Yes.
else has to be fixed. before
Everything
he
else
can
has to
sell
be
it.
fixed. It's just the painting on the outside. Yes.
Because it said status quo, that means it can still sit there and look like a dump.
Well, it could sit the way it is right now. I mean, the only way that we were able to reach an agreement with the painting, because we don't have maintenance agreements with the township, the only way that we were enforceable on the painting is there's a section that it's got to be comparable to the neighboring and surrounding areas. So we held our hat on that, which the court agreed for this circumstance because of the house conditions that it could be painted.
So it is gonna be painted?
Right now, it's in there.
If it stays with this property owner, if it transfers, then we have the painting may not be.
But everything else is gonna be fixed. The
Everything
porch is
else
gonna
has to be,
fixed, all that
yes.
stuff is gonna be
The
fixed.
fire and building codes have to be fixed.
And that has to be done by the current owner.
Correct.
Are there many fire and building?
There's only a couple items left with fire. I believe it's the wood pile and I believe it's the cover on the electrical box downstairs are the only two items.
What about building, you know? anything?
Building's all done. All the violations were
So it's gonna
completed.
stay as it is, if it's, potentially it could stay as it is if it sells, other than the wood pile would go and there'd be some internal electrical work done.
He does seem like he's done a good job cleaning up around there.
Yeah, I mean, he cleaned up and he fixed all the violations. He just didn't paint it. And I think frankly, he doesn't have the money. So, but the court's enforcing him. If he doesn't sell this property within 60 days, then he's got to come back to you guys with a written agreement and saying, I will have it done. And it can only go out 120 days. So if he gets into the fall, I mean, he's going to have to side it.
Okay. I just have one, and this is for you guys. If it becomes a historical house, are there other rules that it has to follow in regards to paint and all
That's
that?
what we're looking at.
That's what
I told him, he called the Kelso, I called him back and left him a voicemail. I told him that we would check on all of that information, which Christie will be doing, and then we would get back to him as soon as possible. I have not heard from him since. It did sound like he wanted to bring it back to what it is supposed to be in order to, basically in order to keep that plaque.
Yes.
So we're gonna look, Christie's gonna look the file up to see all the houses that were issued plaque, when it was issued. And then we'll go to the historical site and figure out exactly what he needs to, and let him know.
And this is, so the zoning commission is also, they're going to be in touch with you because we've been having, and Sue, you've been a big part of this as well. And Mike initiated it originally with this historic thing, but zoning commission is looking at having this whole historic area for Brimfield Township, not just the town center, but the whole. So they're going to be going through histories of all the homes. So that might be a help with this as well.
Well, that's what I said, I've got pictures, and I think I've got a picture of that one, but I don't know when that picture was taken, I don't know when the plaque was issued, I don't know who the plaque was issued to, so I've gotta find that information.
Right.
I did go back to the auditor's record, and it had Hankins, and before that, it had Ella Boggs was the owner.
Yes.
And then that was as far as I could get online with information that way. I could probably go up to the recorder's office and look at tax maps or something like that. But I don't know when the plaque was issued, I don't know who it was issued to,
Right.
and I don't know the stipulations.
I mean,
Yeah,
so the proposed buyer is very interested though. I mean, so he's reached out to me several times and
Mike?
Yeah.
Yes.
So we have the motion on the floor. Do we want to enter into the settlement agreement? Do we want to table the settlement agreements?
Mike, what do you think?
I think this is all you're going to get enforced throughout the course. I think this is the best case scenario. He doesn't sell in 60 days. I think the potential buyers, we're all putting them on notice. He has to legally put them on notice that there's a settlement agreement so that they're aware that we're going to go after them after 60 days. If they purchase the property and they have no intentions to go after it, we're going to start the process with them. And I don't think anybody buying it wants that headache. So.
Okay.
Well, I'm just really pleased that we were able to reach a type of an agreement that we didn't have to have the house demolished because of the historical that it gives to our town.
Nice little historical district. But you think it might be a McCormick that owned it?
I'm not sure whether he was there or the one just to the west of it. It was, yeah, it was Frank McCormick. He was the original zoning inspector here.
Wow.
But we'll keep checking.
Okay.
I'll do some digging
You'll
and,
find out which ones you did,
yeah, and see what I can do, and I'll see what.
So roll call.
All those in favor, Mike? Yes. Nick?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Motion passed.
All right, anything else for zoning department?
That's all I have. There's an item with cemetery with Mark, but that'll come up later.
Okay. All right, we'll move into road departments. Dave, the floor is yours.
All right.
Some old business there.
Yep, a couple of the old business things. I've been looking for ridge signs. I think everybody's got copies of them. These are the original signs that we started with back last year. It'd be $1,650 to replace the sign. I also was talking to Graphic Detail about it. If we wanted to make these signs look like our street signs, they could do that with the blue and the gold.
On this?
Yes.
Oh, that would be neat.
So, I mean, again, this is just some discussion to see what we're looking into, if we want to move forward with this.
Do you want to get them to give us a mock-up of what it would look with?
Well, I can have them do that. That kind of dawned on me yesterday, and I started calling Graphic Detail to see if they can do it.
Right, I mean, have you looked at the sign? Because I know they painted it. I mean,
It's a bluish white.
It looks really nice. I thought it was a new sign when I drove.
Right, I mean, so you probably don't rip it out while it's looking good, right?
Right. No, it would be something, this would probably be put off until next spring.
Next spring.
Yes.
I mean, because then you're gonna re-room all that, right?
They might not like it, but yeah, there's a lot of bushes there that need to come out.
Yep.
Because it's just all overgrown. We started cutting into the bushes now, they just all look like sticks and die anyway.
Would it be worth getting to it in the fall when you rip it out so it's done?
Slow down, we could rip some of the stuff out then, yes. But as of right now, I don't want to touch nothing because I don't want to start here and then not show up again for 6 weeks or something, so.
Right, okay.
But this is just to get us back to the starting point. I mean, we could always, per se, even buy the signs now and just store them at my shop until it's ready to put up.
Oh,
So-
well, I would like to see your thoughts on what you thought.
Because, like I said, at the next meeting, I could have them do a mock-up of what the township's colors would look like on the sign.
Yeah.
And then we can go from there on that.
I think that's the best plan. Yeah, just bring back the township colors and then we can vote on it from there. And at least order it, store it at your shop.
Right.
And that way this fall, we can set a deadline by winter 2022 to have it installed.
Okay, because I know, like, I was looking at these colors and like I said, the sign itself now is, I think it's like a light blue,
Yeah,
white
it
lettering.
really
So-
looks good now.
Right, so I don't want to,
Would you maybe snap a picture of it and
I was
show it to them?
I was going to try it last night, take a picture of theirs and compare everything, but I kind
I
of
mean,
ran out of time.
it looks good. Apparently they like those colors, so.
Right,
so maybe
but I just figured if
maybe we
we're,
can match it somewhat.
if we're kind of taking it completely over, I'd rather see just go to like our colors, the blue and gold. That's where if I could get the other mock-up, I guess I could contact the people that kind of take care of the sign, show them what we're looking at putting, and see what they say.
Yeah, you're opening a can of worms.
Yeah, I think that's just bring it before the board and say, here's the options that we have to work with.
All righty. No, but that's just wanted to give you a heads up that we started getting prices. And even with that, the colored trim that we were talking about now, the township road signs, would be the same price. It'd be $825 a side.
Okay.
So $1,650.
Because weren't those poles getting pretty rotten? Or
All
starting
the
to-
poles and everything will be replaced,
Yeah, 'cause
yes.
I don't know how much more time they have.
No, but yeah, they're probably all right. Somebody pumps into them. So.
Okay.
And then I wanted to also, under old business, the man door for the soccer storage shed. I talked with Brad and probably within the next couple of weeks, I'll have the door cut in and everything. We decided to go with the bigger steel door, man door, everything's in and out instead of a standard door. That way, I mean, you're carrying soccer supplies in, you don't want to be bouncing off, the lower door. Plus, he's gonna paint it and everything, prep it with he'll get as close to the field red color as he can get for that. Plus, it is taking the stickers off the container and everything when he preps it. So,
Okay, perfect.
so that cost will be $3,680.50. for him to replace that door and everything.
And the painting, right?
Hmm?
And the painting.
And the paint, yep. Plus a key code lock, everything. Everything will be completely done when he's done. So,
So we need a motion for that one. I didn't pass that, the purchase order. We wanted to bring it in front of you guys first.
Okay, what's the name of the company?
CLE Welding, Cleveland.
And I'm gonna make a motion that we approve the bid from Cleat Welding,
CLE. like
CLE
Cleveland.
Welding, for $3,680.50 for the storage shed door and painting.
I'll second that motion. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
All those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes,
motion passed.
all right, that's all I had for old business. Some new business, well, John, you got an A. Did you want to do your awarding of the Maple Crest project?
Yeah, we do have. I think
Is that these documents here?
Yep.
Or,
Which one is it?
It is it's the earthwork.
This earthwork one here?
There's two of them. Actually, this is the resolution master agreement.
So we just need to do the resolution
Yep.
and sign the agreement?
Yep.
Okay. All right, I'd like to make a resolution awarding a contract to Maple Crest Industrial Road Project to United Earthworks LLC, whereas Brimfield Township, the township publicly advertised for sealed bids for a certain construction project entitled Maple Crest Industrial in accordance with applicable provisions of the Ohio Revised Code. And whereas on July 27, 2022, sealed bids were opened and the apparent low bidder was United Earthworks LLC, known as United Earthworks, in the sum of $1,038,030, with the work to be substantially completed November 1st, 2022, and finally completed June 1st, 2023. And whereas the United Earthworks bid was under the estimated cost prepared by the engineering firm that prepared the plans and specifications, being GBC Design Incorporated, also known as GBD Design. And whereas United Earthworks bid has been reviewed by GBC Designs for correctness under applicable engineering standards and under the Portage County Engineers Award process, and GBC Design has determined that it is a reasonable bid that is responsive to the bid invitation. And whereas United Earthworks' background and experience has been investigated by GBC Design, it's determined that United Earthworks has both the capacity and reputation for satisfactorily completing projects of this size and kind. And whereas the special attorney assisting Brimfield Township with respect to this project, Terrence L. Seeberger, has reviewed United Earthworks bid for the responsiveness in conformity with the applicable provisions of the Ohio Revised Code, and has determined that the United Earthworks bid is responsive under those criteria. And whereas the United Earthworks bid appears to be both the lowest and best and responsible and responsive. Need a second for that.
Second.
All right, discussion, any discussion on that? All right, hearing none, all in favor?
Motion, all in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue. Sue,
She's, Sue,
yes.
okay, motion passed.
so you need this contract piece signed?
Yes.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna get
Do
that
you
over.
need the resolution signed, or is that just
No,
gonna sign?
I just need it back. That's what I'm gonna insert into the minutes.
It might be just the same.
I wish I would put it this is the second page. Okay. All right.
All right, I will get this over to Terry, and then he'll proceed with it. We'll be on our way. Thank you.
David, back to you. Letter B.
all righty, I need the board to amend the resolution, 2022-227 advertisement dates from 7/29/2022 and 8/5/2022 to 7/31/22 and 8/22. That was for the advertisement of the Cascade project.
Okay.
Kind of, there was a little hiccup with the Record Courier. They kind of missed the first date, so we had to put us on the 31st, so we just need to change that.
Okay, I'm gonna make that motion. Okay.
I'll second that. Any discussion?
All those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes,
motion passed.
Plus I also wanted to bring to the board, we're moving forward on our new hiring for the road department. The gentleman's name is Don Lutz. I've spoken with him. He, be hired. He knows he's got to get the drug test and background check. So we're going to be working on that the next couple weeks, and then he'll be moving into our department. It turned out to be a really good candidate. We actually had 3 of them that made a really hard choice.
What's the anticipated start time?
August 23rd.
So we'll be ready for plenty of time for winter.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and make that motion. Are we doing a motion?
Do we want to, well, we should wait
Do we
until
wanna wait?
it gets passed with all the.
We can couldn't we make a motion to hire and then
Yep.
pending?
Contingent upon
Yeah, pending drug test background check.
Hey, what's his name?
Don Lutz.
John Lutz. Yeah, I'm gonna make
WTZ?
a motion pending, his background check and drug test, to hire Don Lutz. Effective start date would be August 1st.
August 23rd.
August 23rd, okay.
I'll second that. Any discussion? All in favor? Or roll call, sorry?
All those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue,
yes,
motion passed. Make sure when he gets all that done, the first place he goes is to Kirk.
So we're gonna he's gonna go do the drug test, this Friday. We'll get everything rolling as quick as we can.
Okay, all right.
Just a few other odds and ends. We've just been working on some, piping jobs, doing some ditch work. The boring job that we passed way back when, it's finally coming. In the next 2 weeks, they're gonna do the bore on Sunnybrook Road, fix that water issue up there. Just to let you know, our other part-timer, this week is his last day of work. On Thursday, that'll be his completion. He's getting ready to go back to school himself. Plus, I also just want to let the board know, we do have the special meeting next Wednesday at 8:00 for the Cascade Pit Opening Project. And after that, that's all I got.
Just make sure you put that down. It's a non-trustee meeting. Sue, did you hear that?
As soon as you see that, then we have a special meeting next Wednesday.
yeah, it's on my calendar.
Okay.
Any questions for road department? All right, hearing none, we'll move into Parks and Rec.
Okay, the first item is the loop trail. It has been completed at Lions Park. Aaron and I went and walked it yesterday. We did a Facebook post about it. It's very well done. I encourage everybody to go down and walk on it. I'm very happy that piece is finally finished. It's something I wanted to do for a while, so to have that there is really awesome. We already have a bunch of plans for it, so.
But they had to have a great base on that, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
From the old trail.
Yep, when they dug it up, I saw the base underneath, so that's
That's
good.
good. It looks great. You're
Um,
working on some signage and stuff for it.
yes, yeah, we are working on signage for it. Dave put up 2 dog waste stations that we had purchased. We purchased those last year, I think, and we were just waiting for the trail to be finished, so.
Dave, let us know if you see people using it.
What's that, dog ways?
No, the trail.
Actually, there's a gentleman every morning, well, since he's always there every morning walking his dog. And actually, him and his dog went trucking around yesterday.
I saw someone when I was coming here this morning with their dog in the car.
I did see some lady was complaining about gnats. Did you read that?
Gnats?
Yeah, something about
I didn't
gnats.
see that one.
That we need to have it sprayed for gnats.
Okay,
We have bees.
I'll look into it. That's actually one of the reasons that I wanted to put the loop trail in, was because I'd seen people walking their dogs around there and, see the dog waste there
Well,
too.
the trail we put in used to be used a lot.
Yeah.
But then it just over the years, it stopped getting taken care of.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the asphalt surface is good for people with mobility issues and strollers and things like that. So
That's a good thing you should mention out there.
it'll be a good piece.
0.25, right?
Yeah, quarter mile, little bit over, but.
So that's good.
Brimfest update, I did attach a schedule of events. The times are moving a little bit, but this is a pretty accurate schedule of what's going to be going on. So just a summary of everything. We have 7 bands that will be performing. We have between Friday and Saturday, we'll have 7 live bands. balloon artist, face painting, a magic show, inflatables, a video game trailer, an axe throwing trailer. The magic train will be coming back again this year. We have the pancake breakfast. 4-H will be doing a canine or a dog agility demonstration on Friday. And then the police department will be doing the canine demo on Saturday. The fire department will be doing the hose demonstration on Saturday. The road department will have the vehicles out again for the kids to sit on. And then we also have the electronics recycling happening Friday from 3 to 6. Is that everything? Oh, we have the hot dog eating contest and the pie eating contest. And of course the fireworks on Saturday. So lots of things going on. There's still a couple of things we're waiting to hear back on, but it's really shaping up. So happy to be getting to the final stages of that.
And you're getting a lot of food vendors.
A lot of food vendors, yes. So Erin's been doing pretty much daily ads on social media, and she's been highlighting different parts of the event. So I know she did like a post on the kids' events, the fireworks, the food vendors. So she's been trying to advertise from different angles, and we've been getting a lot of good responses for that.
I sent the food contract off yesterday to those 2 vendors that I found for you, so you should be getting that back hopefully.
Okay,
this
awesome.
week.
Did you get your meeting scheduled with the fireworks people in Roy, Craig?
Yeah, I spoke to them, and did you talk to the fireworks people? You didn't? Oh, he emailed me back and said he had everything he needed, so I'll email him back.
He might have what he needs, he has to meet with me to get signed off.
Okay,
So,
yeah.
It's on them.
Okay, yeah,
They know what to do.
okay, I'll reach back out to him.
So it's just you, Craig, that needs to sign off, Roy doesn't have to?
Roy does too.
Okay,
Oh, okay.
yep, I'll contact him again. Okay. So other than that, we ordered the, last year we did the big road signs, like the 8x4 road signs. We reordered those because I wanted to use last year's, and then I realized we had a different name for the event. I thought we could just cover up the date, but covering up the name is kind of hard. So we reordered them, and yeah, we're working on getting more vendors, sponsorships, and just some little, more moving pieces. So yeah, we're almost a month out already, so that's pretty crazy.
Are you guys doing the sale again? No. Okay. Is there any interest from any of the former chamber members in setting up anything?
I haven't heard anything yet.
Okay.
The next item is the holiday event update to discuss. So I'm still getting quotes from lighting companies. It's kind of their busy season right now, and I haven't gotten a quote back. I've met with a few of them, talked with them on the phone. They said they're working on it, getting back to me. But what I'm realizing is if there is a company that provides, the decorations and the lights, I haven't found them yet. It's most companies, it seems like they're landscaping companies that do lighting on the side, but they don't really have the animated displays that we had gotten in years past. So what I am looking at right now is I think our best option for several reasons would be that we hire a company to hang the lights on the buildings, and then we would purchase the decorations ourselves. We already have decorations from last year, so purchasing a few more pieces, probably just purchasing a few more pieces every year that we add to our display. And in speaking with Christy and Darlene, the reason that we'd want to hire the company to do, especially the buildings, would be for liability reasons. The equipment, if we did the buildings, we'd need probably a bucket truck to get on the top of those buildings. And then because they're historic buildings, I know there's a concern about damaging them. So to have a company do it, I think would be the best route for that.
Okay.
So
Do we want to hang lights, or do we want to go back to trying to see if we can find better projectors projecting on the buildings to preserve the buildings?
that's also an option too. I don't know if you have that. Do you have the decorations in front of you that I priced out?
Yeah.
Okay. So So that's kind of, and the other issue is finding commercial decorations that aren't $10,000 because I was showing Darlene some of the prices. They can get very expensive. So
these are residential?
yeah, some are commercial, but most are residential. Just kind of the price range I'm looking at, and some of those things you would think wouldn't be very expensive, but I mean, like $10,000 for some pieces.
Well, I think a lot of this is pretty much your decision.
Yeah. So I think
Maybe, we can talk next week.
Yeah.
Maybe get some that you can bring back from what you want to do.
Yep.
'Cause it seems like the sooner we do it, probably the better.
Yes, yeah, I know. They're already taking a lot of meetings and things right now, and already have a lot of customers signed up for their companies. So, yeah, the sooner we
But
can
then we
get that
get to
done,
the
the
point
better.
we get all this stuff, for the manpower to put it all up.
Yeah.
I didn't look at you.
I'm on vacation.
Okay, well, that's okay with you guys?
Yeah, I think we need to put together some proposals, would be my recommendation. See a proposal of what is to have a company do the entire project, what is to have a company do just hanging on the buildings, compared to doing the groundwork also. And then seeing what that would look like if we're just gonna purchase our own lights and the cost of that. I think we really need to see multiple options.
Yes. Yeah.
And then that way we as the board can take all those financial options into consideration and decide the direction the board wants to go.
Yeah.
And then with the Kelso, I mean, maybe let us know what you want to do. I mean, I know we're gonna do that little place in the Santa's workshop. I mean, I can have Mike's place sponsor some of that. I can make some of my employees come down and help. Maybe the Zell Insurance Agency could.
Yeah, I'll have my employees come over.
Kind of like Cherokee Parks employees. You and me will work together on this.
Okay, well, we'll try that for next meeting and firm it all up.
My next update is the electric at the Pavilions. I spoke with our electrician yesterday, and he said Portage County has come out and done 2 inspections. We're just waiting on the results of those inspections so we can get moving. It just keeps getting tied up by different inspections and through First Energy. So hopefully that seems to be the last piece. And once we get that done, we should be able to get moving on that.
Right.
So it's been long enough. I would like that to get finished. And then Lions Park, I know we were looking at the Honeychuck Pavilion. I'm seeking quotes from 3 different companies for that. I have a meeting with one of them tomorrow. And I'm also going to get a quote on the Carter Pavilion. I don't know if that's something, I didn't budget for that this year, but that might be something we do next year. So just might as well get quotes now. And then just some upcoming programs. This Friday, we have the Hot Jazz 7 rescheduled concert from last week at the Lions Park at the Honeychuck Pavilion from 6 to 7:30. This Saturday, we have a kind of a pop-up program. It's a Pokemon Go Community Day program from 11 to 2. We have a group that comes and plays Pokemon in our park, so we figured why not play to our audience and do that. So Aaron and I will have fun doing that. And then on Friday the 19th, we have Twisted Whiskers returning for a concert from 6 to 7:30 at Lions Park. And then on Sunday, the 21st, we have a Monarch Butterfly program at Lions Park from 9 to 10:30. We're keeping busy in the Parks Department. And that is all I had for today.
That's great.
Any other questions under Parks and Rec? Okay, hearing none, we'll move into the cemetery. Oh, I'm sorry, yeah, the pavilion. I can see it right. This is for the board to take a look at and provide feedback. So over at the Kelso Fields, we're talking about adding a new pavilion as part of that renovation project. This is the pavilion for the Kelso Fields. This is a rough drawing from Charles Cochran, our architect on this. This here is just foundation. We don't need to worry about this. The pieces that we really want to talk about is here and the columns. So the first piece is that this is gonna get a gable kind of off the front of it compared to our other pavilions. So this would be us standing on the south side looking north. This is what you would see. His first question he has is, for this gable, this pitch of it will change based on how much signage space we want to have at the top of this. This is an 8x4 piece of plywood right now for signage. So if we shrunk the signage down, then we can get a steeper peak off of this. If we don't shrink it down, then that's the pitch that we're gonna have.
I would shrink it down.
Yeah, that was my opinion too, but he had started to bring to us. Do we want this more squared?
I like the higher gable, that's for sure.
Yeah. So do we just want to square this off?
Do we want to put a sign there?
Well, I just said we wanted to have the ability to put something or something to name the field if we wanted to, so it's easy to see from the road because you have all the woods and the thickets from the road.
Well, we just,
Well, we named it Town Center Field.
well, this is for the shelter.
Oh.
But I would just, shouldn't we build it which looks best and then work on the sign?
Yeah. No, I agree. That's what, but he had to have an idea
Right.
of pitch, right? So we could take this down to a 4x4, which would reduce this in half, which would give you a tighter pitch.
Yeah, I just wonder if we could put a sign somewhere else so we could have the beauty of the wood and not cluttered with the sign.
And he's not actually going to put a piece of wood there, so initially when it goes up, there
Oh.
won't be. It'll just be the beauty of the wood, and then we could add if we wanted to.
Maybe you could put some kind of wood so it would have that woodsy.
Yeah, so we could take this down to like a 4x4, like that, and then we could just say, hey, if we want to add signage, like that would change the
Because you're
pitch
saying
now.
it would just be open.
I think he's going to enclose it.
Okay,
Yeah, this is all going to be an enclosed front here.
okay, okay. That's good. Just so we have apples to apples and everything.
So 4x4 is what we're looking for
Okay,
between, and then that'll change the pitch like that, obviously.
okay.
Okay. The next piece that we want to talk about is how we want to support the pavilion. He said the Boy Scout camps have changed how they're doing that now, and instead of taking your 4x4s or your 6x6s, I think these are going to be 6x6s at least. They used to run them down into the dirt and set them in concrete. They're now taking this pylon and they're actually bringing them all the way up like this, and then setting the post on top of that. It stops post rot.
What a great idea.
And then he said if we do that, he can make sure that this base is stabilized enough that if we wanted to in the future, you could brick work around that concrete
I
post.
like that.
I like that. That's good.
And so that gives it a little bit more look than just having the post. The post will sit on that pylon, and then we could brick work around
Oh,
that,
that'd be cool.
either as part of this quote or as a secondary piece.
I'm sorry, I apologize. I was looking at the next thing. What I heard the,
Putting concrete all the way up and putting the post on top of it.
So you used to run posts into
so it
the
doesn't
ground.
rot. Okay.
It stops it from rotting, but then also this allows us to do brickwork if we want around that concrete in the future to give it a little more look. It'd only be like 2 foot tall,
Well, that makes it look a little special.
but it makes it look a little nicer for the town center.
No, I'm good with that, because that'll.
We also talked about the roofing material being metal roofing and to match the same red as the field red that we've used for our logo and the school logo.
So it would
So
be
that
red
red would
with the
tie
stone.
into the black fencing we have.
That'd be nice.
A lot of red.
Well, the idea is the storage unit will eventually get painted
Right.
with decals. So he needs to know.
It's your
the board's
shelter, you
direction.
should be looking at this too.
Come on. Yeah. So we just need I need to be able to give him direction today so that he can mock this up for us.
Right.
I like that.
So we're talking
So
elevated pylons.
Mhm.
So the pylons, instead of being below grade, will actually come all the way up and then the post will sit in the center of it. So you'll have like a pylon like this and then the post in the center.
That makes sense.
And then around that, you could do brickwork.
Okay.
Pretty.
And then we talked about taking this from such a wide peak. This is you standing looking north, like at the baseball fields.
Mhm.
This peak comes off so we could put signage here if we want to or not, but at least it takes it just away from that standard look.
Okay.
The other question he had when it comes to this, because this could increase cost, is do we want openness up in here, right? Or do we want to close that off?
Close it off.
Because you're gonna get bees all over the place.
Well, you don't say everyone will open the door.
Yeah, you should see the one at Kramer.
Oh, right.
There's lots.
Yeah, it's probably more.
So and I'm fine with that, obviously that increases the cost a little more if we're gonna close.
You know, one thing we should, I mean, I know it's gonna increase the cost, but look at the problems we're having trying to get electric in these buildings.
Yeah, if we could do that up there.
Well, this is already here, so electric's already ran to this location.
Okay.
So somewhere probably, I would say, this is the north side, south side, probably back in this corner here is where we'll tie in a panel. And then there'll be electricity as part of this also.
Okay.
So then when we have bands, the idea is the bands could set up on this backside here and everybody would fit.
Can we get two different circuits? Because I know a lot of the bands want two different,
They'll probably do a big panel box like we did at the other side of the park.
Okay. And then would there be enough power to run like a movie projector or something like that? Okay.
We have enough power ran over there right now that you could run.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah.
Well, Dave brought up something with the electric in regards to getting it to the street,
It's already there.
but it's at the street.
Right.
So we have to get it from there to the street.
I think it's already ran over the building, isn't it, Craig? Yep, the electric's already sitting underground there.
Oh, it's underground.
I was looking at the thing the other month or so ago, and it looked like anything came out of it went that way. Well, or does it just have conduit?
The conduit's there. I cannot say for sure if they already ran it.
I was just wondering.
But it's ready to be
Girls that
moved.
were like it.
Because I was gonna say, if you had to, just rush it forward.
To be honest with you, I don't know if they did pool the line.
And I don't.
But the conduit's there to run it, so we don't have to dig anything up.
So does it go under the field or does it go around the fence?
Oh, it goes
You don't
under.
want anyone
Yeah.
to see at the soccer field.
Right. So maybe
All right, so that's fine.
The other piece on this is that this is the pavilion pad, but this will actually extend out 10 feet here, 10 feet here, and 10 feet here.
That's
With
good.
concrete.
So you'll have concrete 10 feet outside of these posts, so that normally the tables sit under here, but if you got a bigger event or whatever, you can spread out some, or when the concert comes, you have a 10-foot pad.
Sure.
Sounds good.
So what I needed to know from the board is this is what we want, meaning everybody, this is what we want with this. And then I can take it back to Charles today and he'll redraw this with our changes and specs so then we can put it out for the official bid.
Great.
I like it.
Anything else you want?
No, I don't think so.
Post size are,
6 by 6 at least,
okay, so we want 6 by 6
Or maybe
or
even-
larger,
or even 8 by 8 would be dramatic.
right?
Might as well do it right.
Yeah, I mean, it's your one shot for your town center, was my thought.
Yeah. I mean, this looks just like a little, yep.
Okay, which, keep in mind though, the bigger we go, the bigger this
Right.
is gonna get down there at the bottom.
Think of Rome.
Wasn't built in a day. Is there anything else beyond this before we have to do the final?
Do we have lights?
Currently, no, we did talk about doing some type of potentially like lights on the ends here for like dusk to dawn type lighting out there.
Do we want a couple underneath too?
Do we want to add some underneath as part of
We
that?
probably should if
We're
we're
looking
doing using it
at
for Brimfest for
honey
somewhere
trap.
down the road.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah, just it's more secure.
so do we want the dusk to dawn lights on both sides of this? Do we want, because I hate to put it right in the center of this nice,
On both sides is good, but if you have a little lighting on the
And then a
inside.
light switch to turn them on the inside.
okay. And then,
I mean, it'd almost be nice to have it lit up all the time, with LEDs. For security, maybe, I don't know.
maybe at the dusk to dawn, you're getting enough light there, and then we have a secured camera where we can turn it on for events
Okay.
at nighttime.
Sounds good.
So you could do solar lights on the roof.
Yeah, I hate to put solar panels up there though. I mean, you have this big red roof right in the center of town, then you have a bunch of solar panels.
So now I got a solar light on
I
my
was gonna say,
garage
can you
and
get
stuff
just
at
like a
home.
small, just for a small light like that?
Yeah, I got solar lights on my garage and stuff at home.
Where they turn on because of the time, or they?
I think so. I think they can sense when it's dark.
Yeah, those are dusk to dawn lights.
Okay, yeah. But I don't know how much, well, we can look into it and see how.
Well, you
many
definitely
panels
want to have
be.
something sort of bright.
Yeah, that's why I mean, because you already have power here. It's not gonna take much power to power these two lights, because they'll be LEDs.
Right.
But they'll turn on and off without a switch. They'll just
That's
run
good.
based upon when the sun comes up and sun goes down.
Yeah, that's
Vice
what I
versa.
was concerned about, was just having lights there at night for protection,
Yeah.
when nothing's going on.
Yeah, so that's these two here, would be those
Mhm.
lights. Underneath is what's controlled by a switch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So that we're just not powering underneath for no reason all night long.
Yeah,
And if there's something like you wanted to turn them on for a celebration kind of thing, you can go and turn them on.
Right. Okay, any other comments or changes to this?
I think that looks good. I mean, you know, we probably won't get it done this year, but at least
We might. If he gets this done this week,
it'll be great.
yeah. He sounds like he can make this happen pretty fast, because he knows our deadline is that it's done before winter, because if we don't do it now, it's probably not getting done until next fall, because springtime, or at least summertime, because springtime is so wet back there, we don't want them running.
It'd be great if we could.
And are there outlets that we'll have? We should have outlets in there.
So there'll be outlets definitely at the panel location. I just don't know how far out we want to run them, because then you're running wires down all of our posts.
I'm just thinking if there's band doing it in there, we
So
have.
they connected this main power source.
Oh, so
to
they
that
can do an
line.
extension cord and get the, okay.
All bands will bring lots of extension cords.
Okay.
I've heard that.
And then if somebody was using it for a birthday party, they could plug
Plug
a crock pot into the back.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
I am.
But they're definitely not gonna be able to do a robo.
Oh, there'll be enough power here that you can run multiple outlets. You get a chili cook-off. All right, so I'll get this back to him with the updates from the board, and then I'll get an official drawing for final approval.
Chili cook-off, that would have been great.
You can take this.
A chili cook-off at Brimfest.
Okay. All right, so that was it for parks. Any other questions, comments under parks?
Yeah, see, is that all you have?
that's all again.
All right. That'll move us into cemetery.
I just have an FYI at the Brimfest, I'd like to do a cemetery blurb, a table, and talk about, have information about the cemetery and the columbarium and what's going on over there. That's all.
And
Thank you,
then,
Sue. I still wanna, so you're gonna do, are you, at the Brimfest, are you gonna be maybe doing something on the cemetery?
Yeah,
that's what you just.
Right.
Yeah, I do.
So do you and I wanna, when do we wanna zip over and get a video?
whenever it's convenient for you, I'll work around it. I'll work around your schedule.
Yeah, I wonder if we
I'm
can do it.
gonna be there.
When are you gonna be there?
I'm gonna be there on the 19th from about 4 o'clock on. The Young at Heart's having a corn roast,
Okay.
and I can run over to the
I got-
cemetery at
I
that
got
time.
those two big catering jobs.
Oh, you're gonna be doing that? Okay. Let's see.
Maybe Monday or Tuesday, if you have any time, call me.
Monday the 15th, I have a free day.
Yeah, well,
Make that work
yeah,
for
maybe we
you?
can run up there and get a video, short
Yeah.
video.
You wanna do it on Monday the
Yeah,
15th at
just-
some time?
Just call me, I'll be at the restaurant.
Okay.
And then it says we need a motion.
And what that is, it's for we need to get the land appraised, the potential purchase of the cemetery land in the back.
Okay.
We have to get it appraised officially. They have a list price on it, but that's not what we're thinking it's gonna go for. So, for possible negotiations, and if we need to do something else, we need to have a appraisal of the property. So that's what that's for.
All right. I'll
And I
entertain a
would want to
motion.
pay that one out of art fund.
Do we need the ARP fund motion language then?
Yeah, actually, we do.
I don't have that documentation. I only have it sitting on my desktop here.
Yeah, let's not do it then right now. We're gonna use the art money for everything else, but
Okay, so let's do it out of M&I.
we'll do it out of the town of Gemini.
Okay. All right, so I'll entertain a motion for this.
Okay, I can make that motion to hire CP Brahman and Company for a price not to exceed $4,000 with the money coming from the Talmadge M&I for acquisition of land for cemetery expansion purposes.
Appraisal.
Appraisal.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, right. Potential acquisition.
I'll second that.
All right, any discussion on this?
Yeah, I'll second that.
Any discussion?
No, I think it's all self-explanatory from the past practice, the past conversations we've had about it.
All right,
All those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
yes.
Sue,
Yes.
motion passed. Thank you.
All right, any other comments? Cemetery. Hearing none, we'll move into fiscal.
In front of you, Nick, the motion that we need for the amounts and rates for 2023, which we
Did you-
need to approve.
You had old business. Is there any update
Oh.
on that?
No, there is. Yeah, I got an email from the auditor, Stephen, that he told me that they were still in legal looking at it. So he updated me, it was like 3 weeks after we sent it to him, so.
So their legal counsel is still reviewing our legal counsel's interpretation.
Yep, so that's where we are with that. But the new business is the 2023 amounts and rates that we need to approve. Those are the inside millage that the county does. So we just have to approve it.
Okay. I'll make a motion to accept the amounts and rates as determined by the Budget Commission and authorizing the necessary tax levies and certifying them to the county auditor.
Second.
Any discussion on these?
Nope.
All right, roll call.
All those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
motion passed. Thank you.
And then you just need to sign this because it says
Yep.
clerk.
Clerk.
I know,
You're no-
from
You're no clerk.
the county, you call me a clerk. You know about.
Would you expect anything else?
All right, any other updates from fiscal office?
No, we're status quo right now.
All right, we do have 2 executive sessions.
Hey, Nick, I need to amend the agenda.
Okay,
I need to add a B, executive session for compensation of a public employee.
all right, and I see 2 employee contracts. Are they going to be separate? They need to be separate executive sessions.
Correct.
So,
We can use that same one though. They all 3 of them fall under that title.
okay.
So I don't know if we need to do one or we just.
I think we need to have 3 executive sessions.
Yeah.
So we need 3
Because it's 3
executive.
different discussions.
I will copy those 2 after the.
Okay. Yep, I have it pulled up here too. Before we do that though, you are more than welcome to stay around for after executive session if you want to comment too, but I'd like to open it up because some people like to take off. So the floor is open for public comments, questions.
Add receptacles to go to the opposite corner of the panel.
Okay,
You're already gonna put lights up in there, front system and conduit, pop them right down column. That way you can either side.
both sides are covered.
You're not dragging the cords all over the place.
Amen.
Okay.
Costs that much, especially if you put in a conduit size for.
That is smart. Yeah,
I'm writing it down right now.
we want to do this thing once and do it right.
Yep. Appreciate that. Any other comments?
I'm sure that's going to be a well-used pavilion.
Someone told me we had arches last year at the Christmas walk that we walked through. Does anybody know where those are? Do we still have them and does anybody know where they're at?
What were they made of?
They're made of PVC pipe. We had wrapped lights around those, and so they would go straight, and then you bend them down, and they plug into PVC pipe
Okay.
on here.
Are they in there?
Yep.
Okay,
Police pipe.
okay,
Okay.
And we definitely need more hay this year.
Okay.
Or straw.
We talked, Cassie and I talked, and I think Christie, we all talked about the mats
yes.
to see if, who do you use? I'm sorry, who you said?
Oh,
Or uniform company to see if they would put the match
If
out.
they would do mats.
Uniform.
Be a lot of muddy mats.
I know, but it's a money mess with the straw because it
Yeah,
gets wet
Right.
and then it starts sinking down in. So
Maybe we
just
should-
thought maybe, not even necessarily, they have those ones that have like the holes through them. That you know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about? That kind of where the water goes through them.
The wet mat you'd use like in a restaurant.
Yeah.
By the wash areas.
We thought maybe if we had enough, like a pack of those, it might help.
But I wonder if the uniform place would rent them to us, because they rent floor runners.
Well, I don't know.
I called them and I got transferred through like an answering service and I need to call them back. I didn't have our account number handy. And they said they do it, but they need, it's it's not often that they do it, so they need, event details and stuff, so.
I know when I was doing a building project in Mike's place, we put a mat up, and I'm just telling you, they were very upset when their mats came back really muddy.
Okay.
But I don't know, that was a long time ago, so I don't know.
We just felt like that, we could hold them off, then, they wouldn't go back. I don't know, it's just, I know a couple of people said, we just had such wet weather last year.
Right.
And people said, oh, we were gonna go over and walk around, it was just so muddy.
See, we need some sidewalks up
So,
there.
we need, so we just, I kind of come up with that idea, well, maybe that would help. But I was thinking, like you said, the restaurant ones where there's like holes in them and you could close them off and stuff, but I don't know, that people just thought maybe that would help.
How long would it take you to put a big gravel trail in there?
Well, I could skip doing asphalt stuff.
We'll figure something out, yeah, all right, but that's just.
Old fashioned gravel trail.
It still gets wet and muddy,
Yeah.
especially that time. I mean, you hate to say it's a high. You're gonna have wet feet in the winter time. So.
Right. But I know John and Wendy got pretty muddy.
I wasn't there.
Well, Santa did, he told me to tell you.
I must have had a brain fart going on here somewhere. Did we approve the amendment to the agenda?
Yes. No, we did not. I'm sorry.
Okay,
So roll call for the amendment.
well, I didn't even get who, Mike made it, who seconded it?
Sue.
Sue, okay. All those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
motion passed. I thought we skipped to something real quick.
All right, well, let's see if we can come up with some options, Cassie, of floor coverings for the mud.
Sure.
There's gotta be some options out there. Other people do these events, so maybe some Google searching or.
Yeah.
Might find an option.
Yep.
All right, anything else for the good of the order? All right, if not,
We're gonna go,
make a motion, we gotta make motions for these to go into executive
right,
session.
but we need 3 separate ones.
Yes,
Do you want to make all 3 of them?
that's fine, okay. And I need a second on all 3 motions to go into executive session pursuant to Ohio Revised Code Section 121.22G for the purposes of considering the following matters: compensation of a public employee or official.
I'll second it.
Okay, all those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes,
Sue,
Sue.
Yes.
motion passed. We are in executive session at 9:32.
Can we just, I can tell you from my executive
just gonna stop 3 of their toes. For a month. Now I'm finding out from the other neighbor that we need to watch their house. I'm like, oh, all right.
Here you go, John. This is it. Just so you know, we resolve the employees authorized to use township vehicle may use this vehicle. That are incidental. No, but that was
All right,
upstairs.
we are live.
Oh, that was.
Oh, I did.
Executive session, time, John's 10:32.
10:30.
I'd like to make a motion to, for the employment agreement between Brimfield Township Board of Trustees and Brimfield Township Police Chief Roy E. Mosley III, effective July, or we changed it, August 10th, 2022 through December 31st, 2027.
Wait a second. Sue?
Second.
Okay, all those in favor? Mike?
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
Sue? Motion passed. I will,
No other action.
there's no other action, but on that contract, I will make those changes. Or Roy's gonna send it to me, then we'll have them back at the office. I'll make sure they're
That's
all
why I
correct.
did that.
Make sure that all the changes are correct, and then I'll call you, I'll text you guys and let you know the signatures are ready for you to come down and sign.
Okay.
Okay, we need a motion to adjourn.
I will make that motion.
I will second that.
All those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue?
Yeah.
Okay, we are out at 10:34.
Okay.